So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to build an efficient crypto mining rig. Now the main thing to understand is that there's two types of mining styles. The first one is an ASIC miner. These usually cost around $10 to $12,000 depending on the model. And these ASIC miners can only mine one single cryptocurrency, but they do it really well. In comparison, there's GPU mining on the right, and this is probably what you've seen more commonly. And this is when you just buy a bunch of GPU graphics cards, hook them up to a custom rig, and they can mine different coins, specifically Ethereum for now, and a few altcoins. So the basics of GPU mining and what we're going to focus on in this video is we're going to talk about how to build one. So GPU mining rigs use graphic cards like the ones used in regular gaming PCs, but these are built specifically to mine crypto. So with crypto GPU mining rigs, the GPU cards are doing all of the work. So it's really important that you invest most of your money on a really great set of graphics cards because that's going to give you the most amount of hash power. And that's what we need in order to mine super efficiently at the maximum capacity. A mining rig should be well equipped and have sufficient power to make its performance optimum. So mining rigs are really expensive to build and they consume a lot of electricity. So just consider that before you jump into this. Make sure that you have a cheap source of electricity, that you can source these graphics cards from somewhere because those are the most expensive components of getting into crypto mining. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the components that are needed to actually build the mining rig. So the first thing is a CPU unit, central processing unit. So before, when the difficulty level for Bitcoin was a lot lower, like in the 2012 era, you were able to mine Bitcoin with just a CPU. So maybe your laptop or maybe your working computer at home. But now, because it's so much more competitive, you can't do that anymore. So basically, for a crypto mining rig, you'll need a CPU, but it's not the most important thing. It's just to generally improve the rig's performance and prevent errors. Secondly, you'll need a motherboard, which is vital for any custom gaming rig or PC rig. Basically, this is where all the parts are going to interface, and a good motherboard will maximize performance and help all the components run smoothly so that everything is working in a good flow. Also, make sure that the model you choose for this is compatible with all the other pieces, especially your GPU. That's super important. Next thing you'll need is a hard drive. Luckily, you don't need a really big hard drive to get started with mining, so you can go with like the cheapest option and kick it up as you go along. Additionally, joining a mining pool reduces the memory needed considerably. So next thing you'll need is a couple of RAM sticks. You don't need to spend a whole lot of money on this part. All you need is a decent amount of RAM to get started with the GPUs because it doesn't affect the hash rate that much. And the RAM's functions in mining are limited to running the OS and the software pretty much. So it's not that important. Now, obviously you'll need several GPU cards. Now this is the most important part of building a crypto mining rig, so make sure that you're getting the top-notch quality ones here that you can get. Remember that along with your performance and motherboard compatibility, you also must consider the power consumption. So your power supply will pretty much regulate the amount of energy that your rig receives to avoid overloading and shortages. This will depend on the amount of GPUs and what components you choose to build with your rig, so it should be one of the last things to pick up. The next thing you'll need is a frame. This is pretty basic. It's just going to hold everything together. If you're not planning to have all this expensive equipment lying around on the floor, then you should make sure that you have a big enough frame or case to hold your components neatly, and it should be as open as possible so that it doesn't retain heat. Now, you don't have to be super fancy with this. Anything practical will do. Some people even opt to build it themselves, but the main thing you need is just good airflow and just making sure that all the components are running. Another optional thing is a cooling system. This depends on the location and the type of facilities you're going to mine in. So you may require a stronger cooling system than others. And controlling the equipment's temperature is essential to spare the machines and ensure stable performance and avoid overheating and damage to the hardware and increase its long-term lifespan. This equipment is expensive and burning your GPUs can quickly put you out of business. So make sure that you have a really good cooling system and good airflow. Risers are adapters that allow you to move GPUs away from the motherboard and other components. It also enables miners to build larger rigs as they free up space on the motherboard. So most people hang their GPUs from frames, increasing airflow and reducing the overheating risk. So, in summation, building a mining rig takes time and dedication, but it doesn't require advanced computer knowledge. Anyone can do it if you follow instructions and manually Anyone can do it if you follow instructions and manuals carefully and double check that everything is safely in place. And we hope that this guide helps you assemble your GPU rig so that you can start mining and earning crypto. If you have any questions, we encourage you to ask it in the comments. Now, lastly, you can follow us on social media at lumerin.io for our website, Hello Lumerin on Twitter and TikTok, and our Discord as well. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.